Welcome back, everyone. JumpX podcast, Order 66. Austin and I are executing Order 66 today, and we're killing anyone who thinks that split squats, tib raises, backward sled walks, whatever, all that stuff is going to fix your knee pain. Correct?
Yeah, when we say knee pain, we're talking about jumper's knee specifically right now. We can touch on other subjects, but we're talking about jumper's knee, patella tendinopathy, or quadricep tendinopathy, specifically overuse,
Injuries.
tendon injuries. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah, man. Well, I don't even know where to start, but
What are your
like
experiences with it?
with yeah, nah, we've helped so many athletes come back in like short time frames. Like we're talking like a couple months, come back better than they were from jumper's knee. Like we have like so much proof behind this. Even ourselves, right? I've had quite severe knee pain like uh quite a few times and rehabbed it. It's always on and off as well. So a few times. This is like a thing we deal with day to day constantly with our athletes, with
Yeah.
ourselves. So the amount of experience we have dealing with these injuries and these problems like is insane. And it's not an understatement to say we know exactly how to help people get back from these injuries quickly and ourselves as well to ensure it doesn't hold ourselves back as well and also our athletes as well.
Yeah.
So like yeah, it's just one of those things, man. Like if we didn't know how to address or fix, then we wouldn't be able to do what we do and help people jump higher because it's just one of those things that happens when you do jump training. You know, if you never run into it, you're very lucky, but very, very lucky. You're like literally like 0.001%.
Or you don't jump high enough.
Hey?
Or they don't jump high enough yet.
Or they don't jump high enough.
Yeah. Well, I would argue that
Yeah.
anyone 48 and above invert has never had not had knee pain.
What did you say? A 48?
Okay, I'll change it to 45 then.
What? A 40? No, I would even go a 40 or a 35, bro.
Well, apparently Hack doesn't get knee pain, and he
No,
jumps.
no, he's had it.
He's capping.
Yeah, he caps. He caps. Okay. All right. So what do you want to touch on first, right?
Well, I was gonna say, have you ever tried doing those exercises to help your knees? Your experience.
No, because I went straight to credible sources straight away, and the actual research that's proven to work to fix my knees. So no, I haven't tried them.
Huh?
Like okay, so I have a lot of experience with like split squats though, and doing split squats, like extreme knees over toes ones, where you're lengthening the fuck out of the hip flexors. So
Right.
so I have a lot of experience with that. I have a lot of experience doing tib races as well, actually,
Interesting.
uh, to be honest. So I have a lot of experience um, with those. Backwards walking I've never done because I've just always thought it was stupid and didn't make sense.
Mm.
Like I always thought, use critical thinking. I'm like, okay, sure, on the surface, yeah, no, it's going to strengthen your quads and warm up your knees and strengthen them right on the surface. Yeah, it makes sense. But I'm like, okay, I always think, but strengthening your, sure, it might strengthen your quads, but it's like, doesn't really make sense because, like, in terms of strengthening your quads, there's far better ways to do it than that are more specific to jumping.
And then you're just adding load for no reason,
And it's just
basically.
extra load that is like of less quality than just doing traditional strength exercises to strengthen your quads, right? And then in terms of warming up, yeah, it's just more load that you could have just done a general warm up jogging
Hmm.
anyways. It would have done the same thing. Yeah, it might get more blood into the specific area, but if you increase your overall body temperature and do an actual jump warm up, right, and build into things slowly, and it's going to do the exact same thing, right, without adding load that's actually not really doing much, to be honest.
Well, like also the fact that like the counter argument to this is like,
From like when I say doing much from an adaptation standpoint,
yeah,
but you're
yeah,
not
yeah.
even getting like meaningful adaptations from backwards walking,
No, 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 no.
you know?
And tendons barely get blood flow anyway. So like the whole argument that it's putting blood flow to the tendon, that's not what's going to stop you getting knee pain. It's going to be through load management and warming up correctly by like slowly increasing your jumps. That's going to give you a much better return than, 10 minutes of sled drag or 10 minutes of backwards walking. All right, it's time to jump. There's much better ways of preparing yourself for a dunk session.
Like it's not I wouldn't say from a warm-up perspective, it's not a bad thing. It's not like bad to do it, but it's like, is there better ways? Like, yeah, I would absolutely argue, yeah, that make more sense. Yeah, I would
So,
argue that, you know? Um, so that's that, I guess. Like, um, and we're talking about elite athletes, right? When we're talking around, we're not talking about like an old 80-year-old person or anything like that.
yeah,
No,
like a
we're
jump.
talking about people that can fucking jump, you
Yeah,
know? Like walking backwards for 3 minutes, for an athlete that can actually jump, like, fuck, that's not really going to do anything from a strength perspective for them, right? And all they're doing is like, that's an endurance activity. That's a slow twitch activity, right? We don't want slow twitch fibers in our quads
no,
for jumping,
no
you
sir.
know? We want fast twitch fibers in our quads, you know? So that's where I'm saying there's far better ways to strengthen your quads that even just from like like a I guess a tendon perspective as well.
Yeah,
So um yeah, like just one example, right? Isometrics. That's gonna give you instant pain relief, right? And strengthen your tendon as well in a specific way too.
and a science backed
Yeah.
research.
There's so much research behind them as well. So that's gonna warm up your tendon and give you instant pain relief. So that's a better option. Now just going through general warm up of just like jogging and doing, you know, random just drills as well. Just movement, just increasing your body temperature. It's not adding unnecessary load to your knee, but it's also gonna warm your body up and help pain in that sort of way as well. You know?
Yeah. Well, when have you got knee pain in the past, and then what caused it?
What caused it?
And then yeah, and then how did you fix it? So what caused it?
Oh, actually, how I got my first bout of bad knee pain was I was doing a lot of jumping at the time, and then I was doing extreme knees over toes like movements, and then that's how I developed quad tendinopathy,
Okay.
and I was just overdosing it.
Which quad?
Hey,
Your left
both,
quad? Oh, both. Nice.
both, yeah, at the same time,
That's sick, man.
like quite bad, yeah. So that's actually how I got it, right? And looking at looking at it at the time, like what I was doing was just unnecessary. You don't need to do extreme knees over toes work, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just unnecessary. It's very if anyone doesn't know, tendons like you can spike their pain more than necessary through compression as well. So the deeper you go into knee flexion, it compresses the tendon and it can cause more knee pain that's not necessary as well.
Yeah.
So through a rehab process, like it's not even necessary, you know, to get in that position. And
No,
it's
sir.
quite bad to get in that position as well.
Oh yeah, especially if it's really bad.
Yeah. No, 100%. So that's how I developed my quad tendinopathy. And then it was just from there, it just got worse because didn't know what to do at the time and was just ignoring. the science, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how it happened the first time. And the second time, it was kind of a similar situation, but just overloading again, going too heavy too fast, and then over jumping, just being stupid, really. You
And then
know,
what?
anyone that's had knee pain knows exactly what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, I've made those sort of mistakes as well. Most people get it from over jumping though. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But like in terms of tib raises as well, just covering tib raises, I've done quite a lot of tib raises. Um, and when I was doing them, I wasn't jumping very high, and I didn't notice much difference when I was doing them in terms of my athleticism. The only thing it did really was like, you know, develop some hypertrophy in my shin muscle, in my tibialis anterior, which makes your lower leg look a bit bigger. But in terms of actually jumping higher, like not really. In terms of preventing knee pain, not really. It didn't really help, you know? And when I've jumped my highest, I wasn't doing any sort of tib raises.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
So, if anything, just strengthening the calf, getting the lower leg and the calf stronger helps a lot. Just generally, especially the gastroc,
Mhm.
that helps a lot. That plays a far bigger role in my experience than strengthening the tibialis anterior. But how about you, Tom?
No, I was going to ask before we go on to mine. How did you fix your knee pain? What's the like the underlying thing that you did? Was it adding
Yeah,
more?
just load
Like,
management. Just load
yeah,
management. Just going through a full load management protocol, managing my load appropriately, incorporating, the right exercises, the right joint angles, everything like that at the right times, and just slowly progressing back into jumping,
yeah,
right? And that process, in order to actually see results with that, is different for every single athlete, and the time frame is different for every single athlete. So there's no one size fits all. If you actually want to fix your knee pain, you can't just like buy a program and do a bunch of magical exercises and fix your knee pain. It doesn't work like that.
yeah,
You know, literally doesn't work like that. Like, like some people that might help some people, but there'll be a lot of people it doesn't help. There's no one size fits all approach.
for example, right? For two examples we got on JumpX, we have Travis Jordan, and then we will have Dylan, Dylan T.
Well, yeah,
So
right now we have like so much more examples that have helped people in the past.
yeah, but
But
they're like very good examples because they're very like different timelines. Like Travis really only took like a month and a half to go from not being able to jump without pain to having pain-free jump sessions like 30 plus jumps. Whereas Dylan, he took a little bit longer. Like they're both in the same position at the start. The start point was the same, but Dylan took maybe like 3 months to actually go out and do like 10, 15 jumps. So again, there's like variables that come into play here. They're different ages. Travis is like 4 years younger. They have different jobs. They play different sports. So, and just different like genes as well. So,
yeah, 100%, 100%. Have you ever done split squats, tibialis raises, backwards walking?
I've done all of those except for tib raises for knee pain. This was in 2019. I was a little impressionable,
How did it
19 year old.
go?
So basically, I took myself from like maybe a 6 or 7 out of 10 knee pain to like an 8 or 9 out of 10 knee pain. So it was a really good experience.
Yeah, if you just add load
Yeah, man.
unknowingly to an overloading issue, then yeah, it's gonna get worse, isn't it?
And then when it was like real bad, it only took like a week and a half of proper load management, and I was back to doing jump sessions pain free.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That is insane.
yeah.
Yeah. So you've never done tib raises, but I'd be willing to guarantee that you have very strong hips, even if you haven't done tibialis raises.
Especially, I'd say the right
Yeah.
tip on
Why is
ace
that?
because it's my plant foot.
What happens?
Well, he's blocking. Well, he's not really. He's blocking, but it's the first leg that hits the ground, so it's like stopping a lot of your momentum. The angle of your well, I can't really do it with my hand, but it's a similar position that a tip
It's
raise.
right before you take off. So it's
Yeah,
right
yeah,
before, after your second to last, well, it's pretty much your second to last step,
yeah,
that foot. So if you're jumping with you plant your right leg first, and then you pivot your left foot around to block all those horizontal forces, and it's that first plant,
yes.
right? And then what happens there?
Well, he's actually on the ground for longer than my left is, and I will say that I've actually had right tip DOMs and tightness after like a long jump session. If I've like say I haven't jumped for like a week for whatever reason, and I come back and have a long jump session. That's actually one of the things that gets sore, like and like super tight.
That's insane.
So goes to show that it actually is working without having to do tip raises.
It plays a big role in decelerating.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you were to do tibialis raises, your right one would probably be far stronger than your left.
Oh, guarantee,
Yeah.
guarantee. And for you, it'd be your left.
Uh, that's interesting. Maybe, maybe. I think so. I haven't tested. I can't remember. But yeah, in theory, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. No, I think so. No, I think so. I'm just trying to recall the last time I did them.
So ages ago.
It's interesting because the human body is asymmetrical, so your right side of your body is heavier.
Yes.
So from my my left, sorry, my right calf used to be stronger, but it's not anymore. I think it's my left calf, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's really weird.
So it's just like 2 foot jumping. You develop so many asymmetries as
Yeah,
well.
and I don't think it's a bad thing.
It is a bad thing, like in some ways. So for jumping specifically,
Yeah,
hey,
it's a bad thing in some ways, but then other ways, don't be like scared to only jump one plant. Like if you want to get truly
yeah,
elite,
yeah,
but you do your best in the gym to sort out the imbalances. Not
right. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Those imbalances, they help you when you go jump. They actually
yeah,
help prevent injury when you go jump, having those imbalances. But if when you say when you go to go and sprint or when you go to squat and stuff like that, it can cause issues.
in that case, then you definitely want to sort it.
That's the only thing. So when you're doing other things that aren't jumping, that asymmetry can cause issues. But when you're jumping, it doesn't. It actually is helpful. So that's the weird thing with jump training.
Mm-hmm.
Because like when you go squat, Tom, your squat, it's not even, your feet aren't even,
Yeah, no,
you know?
it used to be like really bad as well.
Hey?
It used to be like way worse as well.
Yeah. So that's where it can cause issues, like you're probably lucky it didn't, but it can, you know? Because what ends up happening is like, because your right quad is stronger and bigger than your left, right?
Bro, honestly, maybe it's like slightly bigger, but I actually think my left quad is stronger. My block foot.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I actually feel like my left is strong, like strong as fuck.
That might be because with squatting, you might bias it more with squatting then.
Mm.
Maybe. But yeah. No, it's interesting. It's interesting. We went a bit off topic, right?
That's all right.
But yeah, addressing jumper's knee and like these exercises and stuff like that. Like, you know, some people like it might help a little bit just because they just get their body stronger, generally stronger. right? But it's kind of like I'm trying to think of a good thing to compare it to. It's kind of like um
You'll still run into the issues eventually. That's the thing. You can't go around jumper's knee just by getting strong. It's not a strength. Not because you're weak. Like even Clarence Kennedy, renowned Olympic lifter on YouTube, squats 300 paused at like 98 kilos body weight. Even he's run into jumper's knee because he does like tricking, which is like parkour sort of stuff where you're like jumping
yeah.
around. He does that, and guess what? He ran into jumper's knee. Crazy. And he's like stronger than all of us combined. So it's not a strength thing, man. Hey,
Yeah, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Yeah, but strength absolutely does help. Like getting your quad stronger specifically does help because it like quite a lot. Because even when you do have a flare up, like from what I've noticed, you tend to recover more quickly when you have strength in
yeah,
that
there's
area.
potential to recover and not get it in the first place. I can get behind that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, if you guys are looking to jump higher, you're looking to fix your knee pain, like for real, fix your knee pain, right? And experience some of the results like some of our athletes have experienced recently, then you can apply in the link in our Instagram description
Mm-hmm.
for coaching. All right. And without further ado, we'll catch you guys in the next JumpX podcast.
Peace.